Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that I follow. I'm going to interject my financial opinions across the board, and if you need any help, check out finding-value.com. Use discount and the coupon code for an extra discount on both the monthly and yearly memberships. So let's dive in here, see what's going on with the markets. DXY flat. And looks to me that we're still in a little bit of an uptrend here, guys. I mean, it doesn't look like it's ready to turn yet. But again, that could turn at any second, depending on what yields do. We look at yields, well, it doesn't look like it wants to turn. It looks like it wants to go higher. So yields look good to go on up. Any way you slice and dice this thing, it's kind of like a little trend line being broken there. We're sitting on top of support. Looks strong. It looks strong. And the 10-year, Jesus, look at this thing go, guys. The Energizer Bunny keeps going and going and going. That is especially true if you go towards the bottom here and then this just rockets on up. 10 years up, we've got the 30-year up even more. 3% up for the 30-year, 2.5 on the 10-year. So again, big move up in yields. And again, this is going to put pressure on the pricing of assets. We look at the TYX TMX ratio. It's hanging in there, just basically moving sideways. So we've got flat dollar, higher yields. You're probably going to see a flattish to slightly lower gold silver price based off of these market conditions. Bonds just getting ripped. Just getting ripped. I mean, bonds look like total garbage. Back out here on the monthlies. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this sell-off, guys. Jesus. So there was obviously some pent-up anger and rage over in the bond market. Some pent-up demand that went into bonds at this peak here. And then it just ripped everyone a new one. It ripped them a new one. It is still, heading lower. Guys, this doesn't look like it's ready to stop either. I mean, this looks like there's more left in the tank for bonds and yields. So yields to go higher, bonds to go lower, bond prices. So yeah, it doesn't look too hot. Gold, the momentum is slowing a little bit, but it's still a red candlestick. So the momentum's to the downside, that's for sure. Are we going to get a turnaround point here? We'll have to wait and see. And maybe this is that false breakout slingshot that we see in some of these patterns. I'm not calling for it. Wait and see. Let's see what the next couple of trading days have in store for us. Silver's put in that wick. Generally, in reversal patterns, you get these wicks on the bottom. If we were to zoom in on it, here's your downtrend line coming down. Well, I drew it as an arrow. Here's a downtrend line, all right? There's a downtrend line there. Maybe we can kind of squeeze this guy up. Not really. Something like that. And we've broken that to the upside. This is a very short-term chart. And that's what the wick is at the bottom. It's basically a broken downtrend line or a broken pattern that's come back up. Come back up a little bit. So again, is this going to go higher? Is this going to be a wick where we slingshot out of here? It's possible. I'm not saying it's not, but I still think we need more trading days behind us to make sure that that's the case. Physical price, 2139. Yeah, I think it looks absolutely excellent for buying physical metals down here. Gold, silver, platinum, it doesn't matter. They all look good. Platinum is moving lower. We could be breaking to the downside. It could be a false breakout as well. And we could get to the lower 800s, guys. That would be an excellent, excellent entry point if we get down there. Fingers crossed that we do. And then palladium's also heading lower, but I think we can go lower quite a bit to support. That support level is, you're looking at mid 800s, low 800s, something like that. XE to gold ratio, there's been some people positioning in the gold and silver mining companies over gold. So we're seeing an outperformance today. This is a bullish piercing. What that means is it could be bottoming and heading higher, where gold and silver mining companies could outperform gold itself. So this is making the case that if we've got gold and silver mining companies outperforming gold, people could be positioning in the miners before a move up in gold. And so that is a possibility. Bigger picture view, we haven't broken down yet, but we are hanging on. This could be one of them double bottom type deals. All right. Looking at the CRB index, we are a little bit lower today. We're right at that support level. See if it holds. And then looking at the CRB to S&P 500, it doesn't look that bad. This still very much can go higher, where commodities outperform the S&P 500. That is my expectation with yields going up like they have. I think commodities are going to outperform. And we are also, big picture view, in a third wave of that commodity outperformance. We could see a big move in commodities outperforming the overall markets. So GDX up a little bit. There we are. It still looks like there's a lot of downward momentum though. GDXJ, same thing, and SILJ, same thing. Still momentum to the downside. Not a reversal candlestick. Momentum still hasn't reversed yet for any of these. Crude oil up. Again, we've got some momentum still heading to the downside. And we're just seeing if the next support level is somewhere in this range here. 82, 83, 84, somewhere in that range. There's stronger support as you go down here. Really strong support at $80. Somewhere in that range, we'll probably get some support if it decides to continue lower. And I would look at for the low 80s, be a good support zone. TTF gas down a little bit. It did have a little wick at the bottom. Could see this try to come back up to the upside. There it is. And we're bouncing around this support level. Support resistance line. Nat gas in America up 3.52%. Not too bad. You've got the buyers and sellers dueling it out here. Big down day yesterday. Kind of a big up day today. Again, though, I think we are trying to put in a bottom here. Eventually, this is going to work its way on up. So I think nat gas looks excellent. Looks very good. XOP, yeah, you know me. We have a bullish engulfing here, bearish engulfing here. We went from pivot low to pivot high, and the momentum is still to the downside. So look for some reversal candlesticks, some strength on the buying side for this to try to turn this around. But right now, the momentum is still to the downside. We need to see that momentum shift. OIH also, man, that's a weird looking candlestick because not quite a bullish piercing. It's close though. So we could have a reversal on our hands. It's possible. This is kind of the trend line that we're looking at. You can see that we broke that trend line, but it's always best to come, up to some degree to give us a little bit more confidence. And that's what the 50% mark is like here. So we could have reversal on hands. We got to see what the bounce looks like. If it's a weak bounce, it's just going to roll over, probably head back down if we get a weak bounce. So let's look at what the bounce is like on oil service. And I think we're going to get a bounce. It's just how big and how long. Raw physical uranium trust, we are coming down the body of the candlesticks, the opening and closing price. That's the body of it, opening and closing price. They are contracting down to this here. So this could be a localized bottom. We do have some support in that area. Let's look to see if it bounces at all. You can see that we're kind of bouncing on this support level. Here's your support. You just draw it across and we're right at that support level. Have not broken the downtrend line. So yeah, momentum's still down. We've got a little bit of contraction in the candlestick prices, and we're at support. We'll have to see if we bounce. URA also doing the same thing. We are contracting on the candlesticks a little bit, but momentum still to the downside. No trend lines broken, no reversal candlestick. Uranium, same thing, and URNJ. Pan down to 47.59. This is where our support level is going to start to engage at. My guess is that this is going to try to turn around here at some point. It's going to go sideways, or it's going to do a trampoline bounce, something like that. So let's see if that actually happens. But again, one thing to also take into consideration, watch yields. If yields continue to just rip it, we could see further downside. So we're at support. Look for the trampoline bounces. If yields continue up, look for more selling pressure. The strong headwind. We're at the bottom of the channel for copper miners. And if we get a little bit of a reversal candlestick somewhere down here, might be a good time to start looking at some of these diversified mining companies and copper companies. But momentum's still down. Lithium momentum still down. A lot of these companies, they're very sensitive to interest rates. Interest rates they're hauling, guys. They are hauling. So we could see further downside in lithium. Rare earth metals, same thing. We could see further downside if those yields continue to rip. And you also have to keep in mind yields and the liquidity and the tightness in the market, they're all interconnected as well. There is some liquidity coming out of this market. S&P 500 looks like complete shayat. Shayat. Yeah, coming on down, momentum's to the downside. I think that's going to continue with interest rates going up. Same with the NASDAQ. You're down today and could see further downside if interest rates keep going here. We do have strong support. Let me extend this guy over and we could do that guy. Could come back to that level down here. So that is a possibility. Can extend that. That line's definitely broken. We could come back down to this level down here. 12,182 is what I've got for reading there. This is regional bank. Someone wanted me to add regional banking. I actually think this is a Livermore accumulation zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're probably going to come all the way back here. And I'm going to make a guess here, guys. Maybe they're going to lower interest rates at some point, and then the loaning is going to go boom and just rip. If they were to do that, I don't know. Not saying that's going to be the case, but very interesting pattern here. We're getting towards the bottom of the pattern for the regional banking ETF. Emerging markets still getting slapped in the face with those yields and the dollar being on the strong side. And I do think that once it reverses, we are going to see this move on up. XHB looks like it's caught the Batman pattern to some degree. And I think we'll come back down to here. The momentum's to the downside. Interest rates are not being conducive for this to move up. And we can see further downside. Moo also moving lower. This thing is shifting to ludicrous speed. Ludicrous speed to the downside. I do think it's going to come back to this blue support level. We got a little bit more to go. Don't jump in front of that train, guys. Don't jump in front of that train. Copper looks weird. Come on, copper. So we've got the big selling pressure yesterday. We've got a reversal candlestick today. What the heck is going on here? We've got all sorts of metrics that like conflict with each other, but this is the strong selling pressure day. Here it is. Boom. We've broken that downtrend and we're chilling here, guys. We've got some support. Now, I'm not going to base this support and say it's just going to turn around. We got to watch and see. We could very well come to the underside of that and roll over. So again, yields, dollar, and we need to see what this does. Just period. Iron ore down a little bit, but it still looks good to me to go higher. Why? Because we've got a falling wedge, broken that falling wedge to the upside. Selling pressure, pretty dang weak. Not very strong. Nickel, I would I wouldn't get in front of this. Just let it go. There's no reversal here. Aluminum, aluminum looks good. We've got nice big surge higher, smaller selling pressure. Everything still looks good. We can extend, a little bit of support through here. I'm gonna go sideways with it. There's your support level, and we're right above support. So I think it looks good. I don't think there's anything bad here. I think we're all right. And you could be looking at aluminum, but again, the overall markets, they look like Shayat. They do not look good. So I don't know if I would, if you want to jump on some of the aluminum companies, it's fine, but there is overall market pressure. Baltic Dry Index doesn't care about the overall market pressure. Up 2.12%. Looks good to go higher, higher, higher. What was that, guys? What was that higher, higher? We are coming and breaking through that. A little bit of resistance through there, so that looks good. Newcastle coal's getting a little bit jiggy with it to the downside. Might be delayed a little bit, but I still think this is a really good spot to be looking to accumulate. Why? Because we've broken out of the base, guys. Here's your base, your breakout, your retest. Now this thing could easily do that. So yes, it could go down a little bit, but you should be looking at the individual companies' charts of coal companies to see what they look like. A lot of them look pretty good, and what I think this is it's a double bottom, breakout, then a retest, and this is your ideal buy point before it heads higher. So your ideal buy point's down here. You look at a lot of classical technical analysis books. Bitcoin down a little bit. Looks like it's feeling a little bit, but this still doesn't look that bad in this side here. We got big green candlesticks, small red candlesticks. This could still go to the upside. Ethereum, very similar. Similar to Ethereum, not the same, similar. Right on support-ish area. So that's what we've got in the markets today, guys. What I'm seeing. And you could see further downside. It's possible across kind of the board there. I'm trying to think of all the different asset classes that we looked at. There are indications that some of them are trying to bottom. Gold, silver, copper. There are indications, but there's a bunch that look pretty crappy here. Home builders, agriculture, lithium, rare earth metals, the overall markets, the S&P 500, NASDAQ. They all look like garbage, and they could continue lower. Yields look extremely strong. So if they go up, I think it's going to keep that pressure on the market go down. So that's what I've got at the short term here, guys. And if you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you guys want to join our community. The next one is at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturday. Wait, is that? No, Sunday. I'll get back to you guys. I think it's actually Sunday at 5 p.m. Let me look. I'll get back to you. I got to look again, see what that is. I'll put it in the description link below, guys. All right. We'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.